Good afternoon, people. Welcome to Football Brownie. Hope you're all well, keeping each other safe, and spreading the love during this pandemic. Because we all need a little bit of loving, don't we? Before we go any further, please like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel, as this channel cannot progress without your help. We hit 500 Tuesday night during the Rotherham game. So let's get to that magical 1,000. Also, if you haven't noticed, let me just change the banner here. We've teamed up with the guys at Away Day Apparel. So to get your 10% off, please quote Football Brownie in the promo code WFW, capital F, capital W, capital B in the promo code and get you 10% off from Alan and Boys. Right, so let's change that. And welcome to the Cardiff City show. How are you, Dan?
Not bad, mate.
The great Dan Blakemore from GTFM. How are you, my friend? You good?
Yeah, surviving.
I know. Well, we just had news over here that everything can reopen from tomorrow. But curfew's still going in at 6 o'clock, but everything reopens before then. So, you know what? I can't wait, mate. I can't wait. I think I'm going to be on the piss at 8 o'clock in the morning. So, football-wise, great 3 points in a week against Rotherham.
Yeah, it was in the conditions as well. Obviously, the snow started coming down quite heavy in the second half. It got to the point where even with the yellow ball, I couldn't follow it on a telly. I didn't know Joe Bennett's goal had gone in until he started celebrating. So fantastic performance to come away with 3 points.
Yeah, it was. Let's be honest, it wasn't a pleasant game to watch. But you know, at this stage of the season and the position we found ourselves in, not find ourselves in now, but found ourselves in it. You know, it's the points that matter, Dan, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's not great to watch, but I think you can start to see signs of improvement in certain areas. I think
I agree.
Wilson and Ojo playing up top with Kiefer Moore. They're almost they used to be stuck to their wings without moving under Harris, but you can see now they're if the ball goes to the left, Wilson comes to the middle and vice versa when it goes to the other side, and they're kind of linking up a bit better now. So there are signs of improvement.
Oh, definitely, especially Ojo. I mean, you know, I under Harris, I used to say, oh, it's not Ojo, it's oh no. But under McCarthy, it's oh yes. You know, because he seems to be thriving under McCarthy, and he's not the only one.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot more freedom in what they're doing. Like I said, under Harris, it was kind of the wide men stayed wide. I think that's where we really struggled. There was nothing in the middle. There was no link between hoofing the ball from the back to the front. There was nobody there. But you can start to see now, both of them, they're playing in the center of pitch. They're moving out wide when they need to, and it's really kind of brought the team a different dimension going forward, which we didn't have at all.
Yeah, build freedom, and you know, as an attacking player, whether you're a midfielder, striker, or winger, you always want that bit of freedom, don't you? You know, just to express yourself.
Yeah, you can really see it. It's Wilson, especially. I mean, I've always liked him since he arrived. I've got to be honest. I thought he's been the best attacking player we've had. But you could see how he was nullified by being stuck out on a wing. And he's come into his own. That freedom is really making a huge difference. And he's probably been, again, for me, the best player. I know everybody's raging about Ojo and he's been much improved. But I think Harry Wilson is kind of the main linchpin in attack at the moment.
Well, yeah. And that brings me back then to our conversation, which, by the way, last week when we had the show, we were commenting about Johnny Williams. And we were saying, well, why do you want Johnny Williams if you got Harris? But he's injured again. He was injured about an hour after our show, or come public about an hour after our show, and he's still out.
Yeah, I've read some of the comments from McCarthy this morning saying that it's not long term, but they're not rushing him back. I think his theory was they don't want to rush him back and make things worse. They'd rather get him right and have him for 6, 7, 8 games in a row rather than 40 minutes here and there, which is fair enough if that's what's happening. But I think it was my concern all along, and it seems to be coming true.
I know. Basically because he has got so many, he has got such injury problems. By rushing him back, McCarthy is right by saying, look, by rushing him back, whereas if you rush back somebody without those injury problems, the chances are, they'd be able to continue to play without breaking down.
I think as well, I think it would be different if things weren't going well. We're picking up points now. We seem to be heading in the same direction. There are improvements. We're getting better. So I don't think there's any need to try and rush him back. If things hadn't gone well, I'm sure we'd see him at least on the bench now being forced back into action. So I suppose that's double-edged sword, but at the moment, while things are going well, I'm sure it's the right way to go, just to keep him out until he is right.
And what's your thoughts on Aidan Flint?
It's the only thing that still concerns me is things are improving. Rolls and Vokes haven't been fantastic in the middle of the park, but they're doing their job. The back five, with the exception of Perry NG, who I think has been fantastic, it just looks complete chaos. Every time the ball goes in the box, they're in each other's way. I think it's more by luck than judgment that they're getting rid of the ball half the time. The goal, there's 5 of them back there. Nobody's
it was terrible defending. I said that in a watch along. It was terrible defending. It was a basic low cross, which had the defender been go side of him, would have easily cleared it into Rosette.
Yeah, I understand now they're playing as wing back, so Joe Bennett has got to push forward. So he's well out of the occasion anyway because he's not worked back. And then when the ball eventually comes across, Perry NG is the closest to getting to him, who's come all the way from the other side of the field and chased back, while the 3 central defenders are kind of just stood there oblivious. Yeah. So I'm still not, but I don't think it's a system problem. I think it's a personnel problem. The more I watch it, I think it's the players you've got back there, not what they're trying to do. I just don't think Flint's not good enough. Sean Morrison works hard, occasionally fantastic, but I'm not overly taken with him. And Curtis Nelson, again, is the same, either fantastic or awful. And they all seem to just be getting each other's way at the moment.
But I tell you what, Dan, and fair play, is Phillips, the goalkeeper. He's come in, and the difficult circumstances, coming on as substitute in Bristol City, and he's taking his chance with both hands at the moment. Pardon the pun, but some tremendous saves. Couple of them basically point blank against Rotherham. With a couple of headers. He's really doing well.
Yeah, he's been great. It's got to be hard coming. I always played as a goalie, but it's a bit different when you're younger and you're the only one who wants to do it. I can't imagine being sat on a bench week in, week out, not playing. So to be thrown in and to do as well as he's done is fantastic. There was nothing he could have done about the goal. And I think leading up to the last few weeks, there's been a few times where Smithies has let in some shocking goals. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Phillips stay in there even when Smithies comes back, if he continues going the way he's going, because he's been fantastic.
And you did mention him, a couple of seconds ago. Paying, what a signing! What a signing!
He's been, I think, when he was originally signed along with Waters, I think I tweeted out saying, "Are we signing League One or two players to solve a championship problem?" I mean, I'd never seen him play before, but it's a step up in level, and he just looks like he belongs there. Mick McCarthy's been raving about him today. He's been fantastic. He hasn't put a foot wrong. And playing in a back five, which after him looks completely dishevelled half the time and all over the shop. It's got to be a difficult task. But yeah, very, very impressed with him.
So tomorrow, Coventry. What's your thoughts about it?
I'm hoping we carry on going in the right direction. I don't see any reason not to. At this point, one of the only games I missed this year was the Coventry away game, which the highlights package was about a minute long, and I'm taking it because that was a horrific performance. But I mean, Coventry are down the bottom in the same sort of fight that we've been in for the last few weeks.
Yeah,
I think they've only won maybe one of their last five. I think they've drawn or lost the rest. So, I mean, we should be going out to attack them as the firm favourites.
Yeah, no way. I'm just looking at the recent results now. And, yeah, league-wise, it's 1 in 5. 2 points in the last 9. Or 2 points in the last 12, if you want to. But it's one of those... Like Birmingham, it can be like you know what the championship is like that. It's banana skins all over, and I wouldn't be surprised if they come and set up a store like a Millwall type of, come and break us down and see if we can do it within 90 minutes.
Yeah, and I think this is where our problem has lied through the majority of the season is. Because teams set up like that and we've not been attacking and had the mentality of let's just go at them, we've fallen foul of it over and over and over again. Like I said, there's been signs of improvement attack-wise, so I'm hoping they go out with a different attitude and attack them, because you're right, I think Coventry are going to sit back, they're going to shut up shop. Maybe try and hit us on the break occasionally, but they're going to be happy to leave with a point. So I think the onus falls on us to make sure we're going out as favourites and playing like it and just attacking them and doing everything we can to break them down.
And, well, I'm thinking Kiefer Moore, and without his goals, where would we be, eh? It's just been a great signing, and he's going forward. And McCarthy did have him at Ipswich, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's. I mean, what did we pay for him? 2 million. So,
yeah, 1.5. Something like that.
When you look at it, in the fact that he scored so many goals already, it's a fantastic signing. I mean, again, I suppose at the start of the season, he just looked like every other striker we've ever had, left up top on his own, struggling. But he's still managed to find a way to score goals, which we've lacked, in previous years. Poor Robert Glatzel was left up there, and because he didn't have the same skill set as Kiefer, he struggled. So the fact that he's a big lump, he's not afraid to get involved and be physical, kind of works for him as well. Yeah. But I mean, if you say, even looking at some of the games, some of the chances he's missed as well. If he was more clinical, he probably would have scored another 5, 6, 7 on top of what he's got at the moment. But he's been fantastic. The only problem we got now is making sure he stays fit.
Yeah, that's right.
If we lose him, there's very little in the way of backup.
So what's your score prediction for tomorrow?
I'm going to go 2-0. We're going to keep a clean sheet. I'm going to be positive. The back five are going to be working on stuff at training today where they all learn to not be in each other's way. And it's going to go well for a change at the back.
Well, I'm going to go for 1-0. I think it'd be more tighter than a 2-0 difference. But we will see. Right, before we go into our next subject, West Ham official. Hi there, mate. Hope you're well. Hi, Jake. Well done on the 1,000 subscribers the other day. John Wayne, hope you're well, my friend. And Natasha, 507 now. So going up every single day. Right. But let's get on to it then, Dan. The news was just broke about an hour ago, where Mendes Lang, it's been revealed that Mendes Lang was banned for cocaine use. As a result, Cardiff then basically ripped up his contract, and now after his 3-month ban, I think, he's now popped up at Middlesbrough as a free agent. What's your opinion?
I mean, sort of from a club standpoint, I think it's half a case of it was a reason to get rid of him because of the wage bill. So they had a perfect out to rip up his contract and get rid of him.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not the sort of things that are reported. This happens more than probably people are aware. People are out there, they're injured, but they've fallen foul of a sort of a non-performance enhancing drugs test or personal use drug, if you like. So I think that was one side of it. I mean, the other side of it is a bit short-sighted. I understand he's done something wrong, but I suppose the general consensus in these situations is to stick by your player, go down the route of helping them with whatever they need help with, if it's a long-term problem, So, I mean, personally, you don't know the full ins and outs of it, but I would have liked to have kept him and maybe have, helped him rather than ripped up the contract.
Well, I mean, sorry, you are right. When we go into this, go further into this conversation, you are right, because we both know that there are other stories or other gossip potentially linked, but we can only talk about what has been officially published. And I'll be honest with you, I'm absolutely fucking fuming about it. On 2 levels, really. Well, 3, I suppose. I don't know. I'll go step by step, and then you can come back on it, then, Dan.
Yep.
First thing, I've been in recruitment for, unfortunately, for the best part of 20 years. I absolutely hate the industry. But what I do know is that where was the support for an employee, the duty of care, basically. You can look back on previous examples of abusing socially issues or social issues. Paul Merson and Tony Adams are the biggest 2 I can think of. Well, I suppose Maradona, but in British football, Paul Merson and Tony Adams. Adams went to prison. Merson was banned, I think, or at least taken out of the game for a while. And Arsenal stuck by them. And as a result, they repaid the club's loyalty and brought them more league championships. Also on a club kind of point is that this is Cardiff City and this is Mehmet Dalman, who have been crying out that Cardiff City as a company are losing millions every week or every month. Yet they are quite prepared to rip up a player's contract who could now, let's be honest, if you transferred from Cardiff to Middlesbrough, would get 2-3 million for him. So they may as well have gone down into the car park with £2 million in envelopes and suitcases and just put a match to it. Where's the sense in that? And I just think Harris must have been involved in this decision somewhere, because he was the manager at the time. And I just think it just supports my theory that he is just a short-term manager, basically. We don't need this issue. Even if he was still a Cardiff player for 3 months, banned, and Cardiff would still have to pay the wages. They could have still waited till now and sold him, or just before the end of the transfer window and sold him. They could have covered the wages in which they've had to outlay and still made a profit. I'm furious about it, if I'm honest with you. Up to you come back on that.
Yeah, I mean, you're spot on, really. Which is, like I said, it's
Jesus, you're agreeing with me too much. It is so damn, I tell you.
No, but I mean, like I said, you kind of look at it as it's a short-sighted decision. Like I said, it's kind of like you say. I mean, if somebody's been suspended for drug use, straight away you recoup some of those wages in a fine, because I'm sure that's written into the contract somewhere. Even at most 6 months with no pay when you're suspended would not be completely out of the question either. You keep hold of him, even if you had to keep hold of him until you didn't want to play him, the ban went past the transfer window, just don't play him till the end of the season and sell him on in the summer.
Exactly.
It seems like quite you can understand the knee-jerk reaction, because whenever drugs and things are mentioned, you can understand that quick, right? We don't want to be associated with that. But then we live in a world now where mental health and social care and things they're at the forefront of everything. Yeah. So, like you said, it seems quite short-sighted to rip up somebody's contract and just go, right, we're done with you. That's it. Out you go.
I mean, on about duty of care. Thankfully, this hasn't happened. Yeah, but what if, because of what comes across to me as a complete lack of care, what if that contract was ripped up and Mendes Lang done something? Bear in mind, a side effect of cocaine can be depressed. What if he done something stupid? Very short-sightedness by the club and Harris, and I'm quite embarrassed as a fan of the club. I'm quite embarrassed of their actions regarding this.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just think the whole thing was short-sighted. I don't think it was thought through. I think it was a knee-jerk reaction, which ultimately, everything's turned out fine, apart from the fact that he's left the club. We've got no money for him, and he's now up playing for Neil Warnock in Middlesbrough. And we've lost, he wasn't always fantastic.
No.
But
it's probably a side effect.
Yeah, it's probably a side effect of that. But I mean, you look at when he was on, he was brilliant. And I mean, he's probably what I'd call a luxury player. You're not expecting him to track back and do the dirty work. You got him there because there'll be a moment of magic occasionally. And that's nice to have, because we don't have a lot of that. So, I think it's a short-sighted decision by the club on several different levels. I mean, like I say, even if you didn't want to play him again because of the implications of the drug use, that's fine, but keep hold of him and sell him once the ban.
Yeah, exactly. We all know Cardiff. Cardiff has built a reputation of being a party city. Okay, COVID now, but in normal times, Cardiff's built up a reputation for being a party city. We all know of stories of past players who have struggled to live in the area because of its party lifestyle, and that's why a lot of players also struggle to live in London. Maybe it's better for him to go to a shithole like Middlesbrough, really. Let's be honest. Right? But with that type of a reputation to the city, also employers within the city should also know as well. Okay, look, you can come here, but we know what goes on socially within the city. We know it's a party lifestyle out there. They bring the players to the city. Just where's the duty of care when the players are in the city? That's basically my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can understand if somebody gets caught taking performance-enhancing drugs with a club ripping up a contract and wanting to move away from it and say, we don't want any part of that, that's fine. I mean, there's in no stratosphere is taking cocaine a performance-enhancing drug. If anything, I would have thought it has completely the opposite effect on your performance. So, I mean, overall, I don't think it was the right way to go at all. And I think it would have been nice to see the club show a little bit of support, a little bit of gratitude for the time he spent at the club and have stuck by him. But I mean, I think it was a decision based purely on he earns quite a lot of money. Let's rip up the contract. That's some of the wage bill gone, and we don't have to deal with it. Which again, like I said, short-sighted.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. It well, you know, good luck to him. Good luck to him at Middlesbrough, and I hope that he, you know, Warnock can help him beat his demons, and you know, good luck to him in the future. No other words for it, really, Dan.
Yeah, no, I mean, you wish him nothing but the best. I think he, like I said, he wasn't always fantastic for us, but he always looked like he gave his all. So yeah, I mean, I don't like the way he's been treated by the club. So yeah, best of luck to him at Middlesbrough.
Right, just off subject, only a little off subject now, Dan, because I know you cover German football.
I do.
Right. What did you see that penalty was given? Because the substitute touched the ball while the ball was still on the field of play.
Yes, it was. Well, it was a few months ago now.
Was it? Sorry, yeah. I only had it. Maybe it's just a Spanish Wi-Fi, and it took ages for me to come. But I only had it this week, and I thought, hang on, I'll have to ask you about it.
Yeah, I can't actually remember who was playing. It was a shot that was going wide.
Yeah, wide.
And the substitute just, I don't think it was intentional. I think because they were warming up behind the goal, so I think he's just gone to stop the ball to get it back to the goalie for the goal kick.
That's right.
And there was some confusion. I've certainly never seen it happen before.
I know.
There was some discussion and confusion, and it led to a penalty. But yeah, it was one of the stranger things I've ever seen. But I do remember, yeah.
I'm sure, like, I don't know. I'm sure, like, someone maybe like Klopp or Mourinho has touched the ball when it's still in the field by mistake, genuine mistake. But I can't remember. I can't remember like a free kick or anything given at that time.
I'm not sure as well. I think it's because he was technically in the box when he touched the ball because they were warming up behind the goal, which is why it led to a penalty. But I would assume if it happens anywhere else on the field, it would just be a free kick for touching the ball. But you're right. You've seen managers all the time grab a ball, especially towards the end of the game when they're trying to get a goal back. But that's the first time I've ever seen anything ever awarded for it. And it kind of came amid mass confusion as to exactly what was going on.
Yeah. So you working this afternoon?
Yes, I'm covering Augsburg and Leipzig this evening. So Leipzig are towards the top of the table, chasing down Bayern Munich. Been a bit hit and miss though. They've had plenty of chances to take the top of the table, but they've let them slip. Augsburg, I think they've only won one in their last 5 or 6. They've struggled a bit after a really good start, but 2 good teams to watch. So I'm actually looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm anti-RB Leipzig. I remember the days of Locomotive. And also as well, while we're just touching on German football, Dortmund, what the hell's happening there? It just had behind a fire sale.
I think it's been a long time coming. They're a selling club. I don't think there's any secret in that. And I think they've just hit the point this year where they left Favre in charge for too long. They weren't really going anywhere under him. They've kind of cut him mid-season after a poor start. I mean, it's been a crazy time anyway. you know, with the length of last season, the short break before the new season, you know, you see in the Premier League everywhere, there's teams at the top you wouldn't think, teams doing well that you think should be down the bottom. So Germany's been no different, but Dortmund have struggled terribly.
It makes you think, doesn't it? Because with them holding out for more money all the time, with the Jadon Sancho deal to United, makes you think by them holding out, it really has bit them on the arse, really.
Yeah, I mean, I've written quite extensively about Sancho, and my view is that he's not worth that much money.
No, not at all. Not at all.
He's hit and miss. If you go through his stats, it was all I heard last year was he scored 20 odd goals. But when you go through, he scored 20 odd goals against the bottom half of the Bundesliga, and I think he scored 1 or 2 against teams in the top half. Yeah. So I mean, for 90 to 100 million, if you're Man United, do you need a player to score 2 or 3 against Burnley when you're winning anyway? Yeah. Or do you need someone to come in and strengthen your team? And I mean, you don't pay 90 million for somebody that's going to help you beat the bottom half. He's not been great this year. He's come into a little bit of form the last few weeks, been playing better. He wasn't great against Freiburg last week when they lost. But I mean, they've done it a lot, and I think they're really going to struggle now with transfer markets, kind of mostly loan deals at the moment, lower transfer fees. I think if they do eventually sell him, it's going to be at a lot lower than what they were holding out for and what they were offered last summer.
Can you see Haaland leaving before the clause in his contract? Because the clause in the contract is next year, isn't it? Where you can go for 50 million, 60 million, and that's where I've heard it so many times. I've heard it for months that it's already a done deal for him to go to Real, but this fire sale rumor now is seemed to be perking the ears up of clubs like Chelsea, United. Can you see him going to the Premier League?
I would like to see him go to the Premier League, because I think when you take out Ronaldo and Messi, once they're done and gone, I think you're looking at the best player in the world there. Yeah. There's a lot of talk about Kylian Mbappe, who, again, for me, is hit and miss. He's fast, he's fantastic on occasion. Other times, he doesn't do anything. Erling Haaland is unbelievable. There's not a game I've ever watched where he is not front and center of everything good that's going on for Dortmund. And I mean, he would be fantastic in a Premiership. I wrote an article when they were looking at Sancho at Man United, saying they're looking at completely the wrong person. They should be looking at Haaland. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go. They don't tend to hang on to anybody for more than 2 or 3 years anyway. And like I said, with transfer markets and things at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if they just try and get everything they can for him.
So Vincent Tan, get your wallet out.
Yeah, your wallet out. I mean, I think, to be honest, even the way we played at the start of the year, even he'd have struggled to score goals and 2 or 3 a game. But yeah, I would absolutely love to see him come over to the Premiership, because I think he would be. I know Werner and Havertz are struggling somewhat at Chelsea at the moment, but I don't think he'd struggle anywhere he goes. He's just a natural born goal scorer. He's big, strong, and he's unbelievable on the ball. So yeah, I think they will sell him. Where he goes, Real Madrid's you're either fantastic or it's the death of your career. If you look at someone like Gareth Bale and many others, so I'd rather not see him go to Spain. But
being over here, I prefer him too. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Bale thing is I could. Because I was seeing him week in, week out, I was seeing his performances go downhill way before that Champions League final against Liverpool. It's a sad case, that Bale. We all love him a bit because of his his nationality, and that he grew up in Cardiff and so on. but he should have left. He should have left a long time before, and it's sad to see him struggling so much at Tottenham.
I think you're just seeing he's had so many injuries, and I think you're just now seeing sort of the accumulation of it's impossible to keep playing at the level he was playing at after that many injuries. And I think he spent the best part of a year sat on the bench at Madrid not playing. He's come to Tottenham and he's doing the same thing again. You know, it's amazing. You look at Jesse Lingard going from Man United to West Ham. What a run in the team will do for your confidence.
Yeah.
They brought him over and they've continued to sit him on the bench, and I think he's losing interest rapidly.
Yeah,
I think he's broken down anyway from all the injuries and the lack of confidence being put in him by Mourinho in a team that is. I've watched them twice in the last week, and they are absolutely horrendous.
Yeah,
I think it's just finished him off. I think when he wanted to move to China, I think that was the signal to let everybody know I'm pretty much done with this, and I just want to go and make as much money as I can.
Yeah,
It's sad to see, like you say, he's Welsh and you want the best for him, but I think we're kind of coming to the end of his.
We are. I mean, the problem is when your game is built on pace so much, as you get older and that pace you begin to lose it. If you don't change your game, you're going to see yourself on the sideline. You know, so many players as they got older, they've changed their game. You know, many have sat back, and become like anchormen, and use their passing range to be the main focus of their game. But it is a shame.
He's going to make a fortune playing golf one day anyway, so he's very good at that as well.
We'll go into the comments before we leave it. YouTube, do you like rugby? Oh, you go first, Dan. Do you like rugby?
I do. I played rugby union and rugby league pretty much since I was in high school up until recently.
Okay.
So, yeah, played both. So relatively decent level. And still keep an eye on internationals and things now.
Yeah, I'm more of an international. My dad's birthday is in February, and before I moved over here, it was a regular birthday present, really. But I treat him to a father-son, game of one of the Six Nations. So it's one of the many things in which I do miss. But I'll be watching it. Jeff, hi Jeff, how are you? And he's come to say what day and time is the Cardiff game? Cardiff game is tomorrow, 4 p.m. Spanish time, but 3 p.m. UK time. And Matthew says, Brownie boy, hope you're well, Matthew. Hope you're well. And that's it, Dan. Where can people find you?
On Twitter mostly, mate, at DJB Football. That's pretty much where all my work and things go. Should be covering a few Italian games over the next few weeks, so there'll be plenty of stuff coming up.
No problem at all. What are you doing tomorrow afternoon?
Working the City game. So I'll be doing that, covering that for a few hours.
I'm doing a watch along if you want to jump in at halftime or something.
Yeah, I'll try and pop in at halftime.
Okay.
Once I've dropped my report off. And then I think I'll just take the rest of the day to enjoy watching whatever football's on.
Why not? Thanks a lot, mate. Much appreciated. And cheers, thank you everyone for watching, everyone in the comments. And come on, a City. Let's get 3 points tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.